hoping for better, right? For these old eyes, I think I'll have to move over here. Okay. Well, Redwork started back in the 1870s in Kensington, England. And it was just for the young girls that were in the art school there. It was called the Needlework Art School. And that's where Redwork started. Now, the reason it's called Redwork is because the color of the floss was called turkey red. Now, they had a process that made this dye, and to this day, nobody knows what it was. But they still had the nice red floss, which was color fast, and it was wonderful because it only cost a penny. Now, the young girls back then, their mothers would buy them a penny square of fabric for a penny. And then they got the red floss for a penny. So can you imagine way back in the 1870s, they still had to have money for something, right? So there was always a design on there. It was an easy design. It was a straight line design. So that's how this Kensington stitch started. It's more or less, to me, basting. It's a basting stitch. That's what it is. Now the stitches that the women used and the designs they used were used on pillowcases, dish towels, dresser scarves for my day. That wasn't in the 1870s, but I still have dresser scarves that I made years ago. Well, I learned to embroider from my mother, my aunt, my grandmother, and the 4-H youth program. I was 7 years old. Now, don't ask me how old I am. Many years that I've been embroidering and trying to teach my girls how to do it too. Actually, my grandsons are more interested than my daughters, so it's kind of fun to teach them how to do these things. Just think of the football players that did knitting, you know, and different things like that. And needlepoint, yes, they did. So, along with that, and all these penny squares that they would get all embroidered beautifully, the women would take them and put what we call a sashing around them, sew them together, and make beautiful quilts. So a lot of the designs were very, very simple, but yet very beautiful. Now, if you wanted a different color, say you didn't want to use turkey red. Oh, I want blue. I want to use blue embroidery floss. Well, then you call blue Redwork or blue work. Now, if you wanted to use purple, that was Redwork purple. So they had different ways of calling these different designs, but they came up with some really pretty ones. Okay, so I got started on Redwork because of the beautiful designs I saw that the LeDuc sisters made when they started Hastings Needlework Company. So I was so impressed with some of their designs, and my favorites were all animals. That's what I loved. I loved animals. I'm a farm girl. I'm still a farm girl. I'll always be one. Just put me on the farm and I'm happy. Anyway, so you might see a goat up there. I'm going to pass these around. You can look at them. That's why they're in plastic. There's a goat. We raised goats. My kids showed goats at the county fair. We milk goats. My oldest daughter remembers that. Wasn't her favorite thing to do before she went to school in the morning. There's a sheep and a horse. Don't bother, I'm done. I said I'm brief and to the point. And here's the bunnies. Yeah, and here's the bunnies in the pumpkin patch.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. And then somebody here, can't mention her by name, she said, Diana, can't you come up with something else besides animals? And I said, I suppose, you know, just go to the Pioneer Room, find some more designs. So I did, and I came up with this one, but these are not red work. These are just regular embroidery.
And you still buy that cloth for a penny?
How I wish. How I wish. No, you should know. You should be selling it over there, right?
Right.
Yeah. And this is another design. Now, this is when we taught a class here for some girls in embroidery. I don't know how many of them ever finished their project, but they started with this design. Okay, so what have we got here at the LeDuc that we need dish shells out? What else? I got started on this. Oh my, I just kept having so much fun making chickens dish shells. I
Sell it
thought,
up here?
yes, I think there's chickens up
Was
there.
this all new design?
No, chickens. No, I said it's only because we have chickens here.
So I think
That's-
this is a little,
That's
this is really nice, I like that.
Okay, so most of my embroidery stitches are the back stitch, what do we call the dots? The French knots and the satin stitch. I don't do really the Kensington stitch, because to me that's just a basting stitch, you know. So I don't do that one, but a lot of people do. So, yeah, this is my pastime, and I'm very fussy. The back of my dish towel must not have any knots, and that's what my mother taught me, and my grandmother, and everybody else. We learned that the back of the towel, or any embroidery, should look as good as the front. Well, I can't promise you it looks exactly the same as the front, but it doesn't have any knots. Then they say, well, how do you get rid of the knots? You gotta have a knot there to control that. When you start, you leave a tail. I call it a tail of thread. And then just embroider, and if you get time or you're finished with that color or that piece you have in your needle, just go back there and weave that back in some stitches. And when you end, you weave the other end into some of the stitches you did. So that locks the stitch. But if you gotta make sure you go far enough so that it doesn't wear, you know, when it's washed and used. But I don't have dish towels hanging up for decoration. I tell my kids, if I give you dish towels for Christmas, I want to see them hanging up and you using them. They must be used. My things do not sit, they have to be used. Just like the dresser scarf. I gave them dresser scarf. Mom, we don't use dresser scarves. I said, I don't care where you put it. Just put it somewhere. And you'd be surprised where they find a place. So, did I miss anything, Cindy?
No, that sounds pretty good. I was amazed she was able to find out where it actually started.
Yeah, that was interesting, very interesting. And of course, you all know, you just go online and you find all kinds of information. So, I'm glad I was asked to do that. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you for your interest and attention.
And to tell you, let you know what's going on with the last LeDuc quilt that's going to hopefully be completed very soon. The LeDucs did a lot of doilies and dresser scarves and smaller motifs that fit in corners and whatnot. And they did do large tablecloths with borders or circular borders or whatnot. But they also did, I don't know if you can see this, they also did landscapes. And so this is what's going to be in the center of the Redwork quilt. We've got one here that's a kind of a castle with scenery. We've got some swans, and then we've got some herons, and we've got a tree, and down here we have, there's a name for these type of female goddesses, and I can't pronounce it. But there's a name for it. And then we also have another scene over there that's got some goats in it. And then this is the approximate size of the sashing that will go around and in between, because this is the smallest size that my machine quilter can quilt feathers in, so there'll be feathers around. And then there's going to be, I think it's 24 of the smaller motifs marching all the way around, and they'll be surrounded by feathers also. So it's going to be about this much bigger on all sides when it's done. And it's with the turkey red on a real soft ecru muslin, which is kind of traditional.
Right.
So that will be the last one, and I'm done.
And you have people making the squares.
Yes, the Lady Slipper Needle Arts Guild from Minneapolis has volunteered to do these. And so the head is going to be giving the big scenes to her best seamstresses, her best embroiders. And then all the other little ones are gonna be given out to the other members. And I'm fairly sure the little ones are gonna come back real quick. These are the ones we're gonna be waiting on. But, you know, they seem to think 4 to 6 weeks was plenty of time, so I thought, well, that's pretty fast, actually. So, it should be done sometime late this summer, but I couldn't get it done in time for the needle art day. So those are, if you want to take a look at these, you're welcome to. I think they're kind of interesting ones. I had to find ones that were kind of the same size. I'll leave that up here if anybody